All right, so today we are taking a deep dive into the world of marketing consultants.
Hmm.
And I got to say, it's a profession that's always intrigued me
Oh, yeah.
because on one hand, you see their influence everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
Like every catchy slogan, every cleverly worded Instagram ad.
Right.
You can't help but wonder, okay, is there a marketing consultant behind that?
Yeah. Yeah. Are they pulling the strings?
Exactly.
Hmm.
But then on the other hand, I rarely hear anyone say, oh, yeah, I'm a marketing consultant. Like it's this mysterious behind the scenes force shaping our consumer landscape.
It's true. It's not like you meet someone at a party and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm a marketing consultant. Let me tell you all about segmentation and targeting. It's a bit more nuanced than that.
Exactly. So that's what we're here to unpack today.
Right.
To demystify this profession and give our listeners a real look at what marketing consultants actually do.
Absolutely. And lucky for us, we've got some great insights from RoleCatcher, a company that seems to be all about helping people navigate their careers. They've got this whole platform with guides and tools, and it looks super in-depth.
Yeah, their marketing consultant career guide is packed with info. So we'll be diving into that as well as some other resources they have to really get a feel for this world.
Perfect.
So I guess the first question that pops into my mind is, what does a marketing consultant actually do all day? I mean, it can't be all brainstorming sessions and sipping lattes and trendy co-working spaces, can it?
Well, there's definitely some of that, I'm sure.
Well,
But no,
bro.
seriously, this role catcher guide emphasizes that a marketing consultant's role is all about strategic guidance. It's not just about being creative, although that helps. It's about helping companies define and achieve very specific marketing goals.
So it's not just about throwing together a catchy jingle and hoping for the best.
No, not at all. It's much more data-driven than that.
Hmm. Okay, so there's more to this than meets the eye. This is starting to sound fascinating. The guide actually gives examples like launching a new product or even completely overhauling a brand's image. It's like giving a company a marketing makeover from the inside out, right?
Exactly. And that's where things get really interesting because it's not just about coming up with a clever tagline or a flashy ad campaign. It's about understanding the company's target audience, their competitive landscape, and then developing a comprehensive strategy to reach those potential customers in a meaningful way.
It's giving strategic surgery. And speaking of strategies, let's unpack what these marketing consultants actually do. The guide lists market research and competitive analysis, but it also mentions advising on promotional activities.
Right.
I'm picturing brainstorming sessions fueled by endless cups of coffee.
Well, there's definitely a lot of brainstorming, but you're also right about the importance of data. The guide stresses this isn't just about creative inspiration, it's about analyzing campaigns and proving what actually delivers results.
So we're talking about using data to make informed decisions, not just going with gut feelings.
Precisely. A marketing consultant needs to justify their strategies with concrete evidence. They need to be able to demonstrate how their work translates into tangible results for the company, like increased website traffic or improved sales conversions.
So it's a balance of creative thinking and data-driven analysis. And if we add the fact that technology is always evolving in this field, it sounds like you need to be incredibly adaptable to thrive, right?
Absolutely. This isn't a learn it once kind of field. The guide even uses the phrase continuous learning, highlighting how marketing consultants are constantly adapting to new platforms and trends. Imagine just as you master the latest social media marketing strategy, a new platform emerges that changes the entire game.
That's both exhilarating and a little intimidating. It's definitely not a learn it once kind of field. Speaking of skills, what qualities do aspiring marketing consultants need to cultivate to succeed?
Well, beyond the obvious marketing and sales expertise, the guide emphasizes complex problem solving as a critical skill. You're not just giving advice, you're untangling complex situations and coming up with tailored solutions.
That makes sense. You're essentially a marketing detective, right? Analyzing clues, identifying opportunities, and devising strategies to achieve specific goals.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not just about identifying the problem, it's about convincing the company to act on your recommendations, which leads us to another unexpected skill outlined in the guide, persuasion.
Persuasion. Oh, right, because you could have the most brilliant marketing strategy in the world, but if you can't get the client on board, it's useless.
You've hit the nail on the head. This is where communication and interpersonal skills really come into play. A successful marketing consultant can articulate their vision, clearly address concerns effectively, and ultimately persuade stakeholders to embrace their proposed solutions.
So it's this fascinating blend of analytical thinking, creativity, and the ability to win people over. Now, I'm curious about how one actually breaks into this competitive world.
Well, internships are a classic route for gaining experience, but the guide also highlights the importance of building a portfolio that showcases your skills and accomplishments. Think of it as your marketing brochure.
That's so meta. You're
Yeah.
marketing yourself to potential employers using the same principles you'd use to market a product.
You got it. It's about demonstrating your understanding of marketing principles in a tangible way. Whether it's personal project, freelance work, or even a well-crafted case study from your internship, a strong portfolio can make all the difference. And this is where platforms like LinkedIn come in handy. They're not just for job hunting anymore. They're platforms for showcasing your skills and building your professional brand.
Right, because your online presence is essentially your digital storefront in today's job market.
Mm.
This is all starting to paint a clearer picture of what a marketing consultant does, but I'm curious, how does one climb the career ladder in this dynamic field?
Well, the guide outlines a clear career progression starting with junior marketing consultant. They're like the marketing apprentices, you know?
Yeah.
Getting their hands dirty, assisting the more senior folks with things like market research, data analysis, maybe even making the coffee runs.
Right, right. Got to pay your dues.
Exactly. It's all about learning the ropes from the ground up.
So when do you actually ditch the junior title and become a full-fledged marketing consultant? What's the difference there?
Well, that's when you really start to take ownership. You're not just assisting anymore. You're leading those market research projects, crafting your own strategies based on data analysis, and seeing those campaigns through from start to finish.
So it's like a real shift from a supporting role to taking the reins.
Exactly. You're the one driving the bus now.
Okay. And once you've mastered the art of driving the marketing bus,
Hmm.
where do you go from there?
Well, that's when you might find yourself climbing to the next rung on the ladder, senior marketing consultant.
Ooh, senior level. That sounds important. What sets a senior marketing consultant apart?
At that level, it's not just about executing campaigns. It's about really understanding the market, identifying those emerging trends before they even become trends.
So you need to be like a marketing fortune teller.
Haha, kind of. You need to be able to anticipate what's coming next and adjust your strategies accordingly.
That sounds like a lot of pressure.
It can be, but it's also incredibly rewarding, especially when you see your predictions come to life.
I bet. Okay, so we've got junior, we've got the regular marketing consultant, then we hit senior level. Is there anywhere else to go from there? Or is that the peak of the marketing mountain?
Oh, there's one more level, the creme de la creme,
Yes.
principal marketing consultant.
Oh, wow, the principal.
Mm.
That sounds very official.
It is. At that point, you've moved beyond just advising, you're innovating, you're leading a team of top-tier consultants, you're conducting those high-level market feasibility studies, and yeah, you might even find yourself jet-setting around the world to meet with clients.
Okay, now that sounds pretty glamorous. All those years of hard work finally paying off.
Right. But seriously, it's a highly respected position. These are the people shaping the entire marketing direction of organizations.
So they're like the architects of brand perception.
Exactly. They're the ones who decide how a company presents itself to the world.
Wow. So we've got these clear stages of growth, from junior all the way up to principal. But running through it all is this theme of constant adaptation. Right? It's not like you hit principal and then just coast on your past successes. The marketing world never stands still, does it?
Absolutely not. This RoleCatcher guide, it really hammers home the importance of continuous learning. Whether it's staying ahead of the curve on the latest digital platforms, understanding new consumer trends, or mastering the newest analytics tools, a marketing consultant's education is never truly finished.
It's like that saying, the only constant is change, especially in a fast-paced field like marketing. But that constant evolution is also what makes it so exciting, right? You're always challenged, always learning, always pushing the boundaries.
Precisely, and I think that's a huge part of the appeal for many people drawn to this career path. It's never boring, that's for sure. Well, let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the why. Why would someone choose this path? What are the perks of being a marketing consultant aside from the thrill of deciphering algorithms and predicting the next viral trend?
Well, the flexibility of being your own boss must be a big draw for some, right? Or maybe the variety of working with different clients across different industries.
You're spot on. The guide mentions the high demand for marketing consultants, which translates into potential for career growth, a competitive salary, and the freedom to choose projects that align with your interests. One day, you might be helping a tech startup launch a groundbreaking app, and the next, you could be crafting a social media strategy for a sustainable fashion brand.
So you're not just building a career, you're crafting a lifestyle. But let's be real, this guide doesn't shy away from the challenges either. We're talking long hours, high pressure to deliver results, and cutthroat competition. It's not for the faint of heart, is it?
You're right, it's not all glamorous brainstorming sessions and Instagram-worthy office spaces.
Hmm.
It takes a certain kind of person to thrive in this environment, someone who's adaptable, resilient, and, dare I say, a little bit obsessed with understanding how the world ticks.
That's a great way to put it. It's about having your finger on the pulse of culture, understanding what makes people tick, and using that knowledge to help businesses connect with their audience in a meaningful way. It sounds incredibly challenging, but also incredibly rewarding.
I couldn't agree more. But I'm curious, from everything we've explored so far, what stood out to you the most? What's piqued your interest as we've delved into this dynamic world of marketing?
Honestly, I am struck by the balance between the analytical and the creative. I always pictured marketing as this free-flowing, brainstorming-fueled frenzy. But the reality is much more nuanced. It's about using data to inform those creative decisions, to make sure those aha moments resonate with the target audience. It's like a science experiment meets an art project, and I'm finding that intersection utterly fascinating.
You've hit the nail on the head. Marketing in the digital age is all about finding that sweet spot between data-driven insights and creative storytelling.
It's like that saying, the numbers don't lie, but they also don't tell the whole story. You need that human element, that understanding of emotion and motivation to craft campaigns that truly connect.
Exactly. A spreadsheet can tell you what people are clicking on, but it can't tell you why. That's where a skilled marketing consultant comes in, using their intuition and expertise to connect the dots and craft a compelling narrative that resonates with the target audience.
It's like being a detective and a storyteller all rolled into one. But speaking of telling stories, I want to circle back to something we touched upon earlier, the increasing role of technology in this field. The guide mentions several specific tools, but I'm more interested in the bigger picture. What does this reliance on technology mean for the future of marketing?
That's a fantastic question, and I think it's one that every aspiring marketing consultant should be asking themselves, because the reality is the landscape is constantly shifting, and those who can adapt to new technologies will be the ones who thrive.
It's like you're not just mastering the tools themselves, you're mastering the ability to learn any tool that comes your way. It's about adaptability and that continuous learning mindset the guide keeps emphasizing.
Precisely. And it's not just about keeping up with the latest social media platform or SEO update. It's about understanding how technology is changing the very fabric of how we communicate and connect as human beings.
So it's about understanding not just the what of technology, but the why behind it, how it's shaping consumer behavior, creating new opportunities for engagement, and yes, even presenting new challenges for marketers to navigate.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this field so dynamic and exciting. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's take a breath and delve into some real-world examples of how marketing consultants are putting these skills into practice.
Sounds like a plan. Let's bring this conversation down from the abstract and talk about tangible applications. After all, that's where theory meets practice, where those marketing dreams become concrete realities.
You know, it's funny, we've been so deep in this world of marketing consultants, their skills, their strategies, but this whole time, RoleCatcher has been subtly marketing to us, haven't they? It's like their platform is a case study in itself.
It's very meta, isn't it? But that's their point. They're saying, look, the principles we teach for marketing products also apply to marketing yourself. And honestly, they're not wrong.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down, but give me an example. How does that translate to someone actually trying to land a marketing consultant gig?
Think about their focus on CV analysis. It's not enough to just list where you interned or what software you can use. It's about framing those experiences with keywords that align with what employers and those AI screening tools are looking for. It's about understanding what makes you stand out in that digital stack of resumes. So it's like SEO, but for your career. You're trying to optimize your profile so you're the top result when someone searches for marketing consultant.
You got it. And it goes beyond just keywords. They emphasize tailoring cover letters, too. Imagine you're marketing a product to two different demographics. You wouldn't use the exact same message, right? It's about understanding the company's culture, their pain points, and positioning yourself as the solution.
That's such a good point. I never thought of it that way. And then there's the interview prep, which seems intense. A database of potential questions is one thing, but AI feedback on your delivery, your tone, isn't that a bit much?
It sounds over the top, but it highlights how competitive this field is. Imagine two equally qualified candidates. One stumbles through their answers, lacks enthusiasm, while the other is clear, concise, and engaging. Who are they going to remember?
Okay, I'm convinced. It's like the old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. But maybe it's not just what you know, it's how well you communicate it.
Exactly. And that's crucial in marketing, right? You could have the best product in the world, but if you can't articulate its value, no one will buy it.
RoleCatcher even takes it a step further with this whole career compass thing. They're not just trying to get you hired,
Yeah.
they're trying to map out your entire career trajectory. Do you think that's even possible?
It's ambitious, but I think it reflects a shift in how people approach their careers these days. It's less about finding a job and more about crafting a career path that aligns with your values, your interests, even your lifestyle preferences.
And in a field as dynamic as marketing, where skills can become obsolete almost overnight, that forward-thinking approach is probably essential for long-term success, right?
Absolutely. The tools you need to stay relevant are constantly evolving. Rolecatcher's emphasis on continuous learning, on proactively seeking out new knowledge and skills. That's what will differentiate you in the long run.
It's like you're not just competing with other job seekers, you're competing with algorithms, with emerging technologies, even with future versions of yourself. It's both intimidating and exhilarating, isn't it?
It is. But that's what makes the world of marketing so fascinating. It's a constant challenge, a constant opportunity for growth. And honestly, the skills we've discussed today, adaptability, creativity, persuasive communication, those are valuable in any field, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's a one key takeaway you want listeners to walk away with?
The marketing world is in constant flux, but understanding customer needs and crafting compelling strategies will always be at its core. So here's a thought. Think about a brand you love. What would you tell them to do differently? And how would you convince them that you're right? That's the essence of being a marketing consultant.
I love that. A little food for thought for our listeners as they navigate their own marketing journeys. And hey, maybe this deep dive has sparked an interest you never knew you had.
Mm.
If so, remember, RoleCatcher might be that secret weapon to help you stand out from the crowd. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep that marketing mindset sharp.